Hey, welcome in. Well, here, my friends, I have a cautionary tale for you, especially if you've got some money. Now, once you split up with a woman, get divorced, or if you're not divorced, you've just been dating for a long time and you split up, never take them back. No matter how low and how weak you're feeling, don't take them back because it's not going to work out. I mean, I think the cases where it works out are very, very rare indeed. And so we have a cautionary story here. Phil Collins' ex-wife now wants $20 million to leave his $40 million mansion. And he's already given her over $40 million when they divorced. So you'd think that that divorce would have been enough to convince him that she was bad news. But apparently not. And now he's in a world of trouble, and I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Phil Collins. And it says there's also $15 million worth of his Alamo memorabilia hanging in the balance. I guess that's in the house that she won't leave. And let's take a look here. There's Phil Collins, and he's up there now. He's 68, and he's not in good health, and he's fairly frail. And he married her. And if you're just listening to the podcast version of this, you can't see her. But he married her when she was 21. And she's not 21 anymore. It's pretty clear. They divorced in 2008. Yeah, she doesn't look 21 anymore. Not at all. It looks like she might have had 21 Botox injections before this picture was taken. But that's as close as it comes. So what's happened? She's taken over one of his very, very expensive houses. It says, after accusing Oriane Sevi and her new husband... So they divorced in 2008, her and Phil Collins. He took her back, and now she's in his mansion refusing to leave with her new husband, I guess, that she just married. She had the time to go out and marry somebody else. But anyway, after accusing Oriane Sevi and her new husband of an armed occupation and takeover of his approximately $40 million Miami Beach mansion, Phil Collins took his ex-wife to court on Tuesday in the hopes of finally getting her to leave. This is just sad. I mean, obviously, he's 68. He's not in great shape. Let's take a look at what's going on with Phil Collins. You can see here, and there's a picture of him in a wheelchair. He's been walking around with a cane. He had an accident on stage, and he hurt his neck, and that was, 10 years ago, and his health has just gotten worse since then. There he is with her when the ex-wife, when... they were both much younger at that point. But anyway, Phil Collins isn't doing very well. Is he going to get any mercy from this woman? Absolutely not. She wants money. This all could have been avoided by just simply avoiding her for the rest of his life. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. But he didn't. And obviously, he's quite old now and he's not in good shape, and probably is really looking for a nurse and somebody that he feels he can trust, and he's miscalculated there. He would have been better off just getting a professional nurse. And maybe one of those nude maid services. That would have been a lot cheaper for him, and a lot less hassle when you're, probably don't really need this kind of stress. But anyway, it says, during the 90-minute proceedings held over Zoom, and I guess this is a legal proceeding, Collins' lawyer accused Sevi of using gamesmanship to take the home, as well as intentionally slowing down the legal process by repeatedly changing lawyers and allegations, according to the Daily Mail. Let's see. In addition to her new representation, she also, quote, filed a counterclaim seeking approximately $20 million. So I'm going to take a wild guess here that she doesn't really love Phil Collins. I don't care how unpleasant he may be. Maybe he's really unpleasant. Maybe he's a great guy. I don't know. But, you're taking over his house with a new husband and then demanding $20 million. Does not sound like a great person to me. Again, I'm not privy to all the details, but just on its face, that looks pretty terrible and should be a warning to any man out there in Phil Collins' situation who has some money, or just any man who has any money, or just any asset that a bad person might want to try and take away from you or take part of away from you. Be warned, these people exist. And I will remind you, in 2008, Collins reportedly paid her $46.68 million in a divorce settlement. How much more money do you need? I mean, obviously she needs more. I mean, she must be blowing through that money, must have very expensive tastes. But how much more should you need than $46 million? And sure, they got together in 1994. They married in 99, have 2 teenage sons together. But is that $46 million worth of work? I'm not sure that is. I think that was a very unfair settlement, in my opinion. And then to demand another $20 million, I mean, come on. But you know what? This is the society that we live in, and I'm sure Phil Collins is still fine. But this is a very, very large example of something that happens on a much smaller scale to other guys who you're not going to read about them in Vanity Fair or see anything about it on the news. But it just shows you that you do have to be careful. It's not just about the money. It's about the betrayal. It's about, being 68 in bad health and having to have that heartbreak of somebody that you thought cared about you who is just purely in it for profit. Just purely selfish motivations, which again, I don't know the details here. All I'm saying is that that's a lot of money. That's a hell of a lot of money. And whatever comfort Phil Collins thought he was getting out of the whole thing, well, that's out the window. He's getting the exact opposite. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me get around the algorithm. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast, Radio Baloney, The Richie Baloney Show. It's on every platform, including iTunes. Thank you. I'll see you next time.